Good evening. Welcome to another episode of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. Today's a special story. It's number 89. What's special about it, you say? Is that what you said? It's special because I said it's special. That's all it needs to make it special. Remember when you were a kid, growing up, and your parents would say, well, it usually be your mom. Dads don't do shit like that. At least not me. I never walked up to my kid out of nowhere and just say, hey, you know what, you're special. No, we don't do that. We prepare children for the real world, which is that you're not special. You're not special. You're not special. You're unique. You're an individual. You have qualities that others don't. But special, no. Special people ride on the little bus. You don't ride on that bus. Stop tapping on my window. But this is a special story. See, stories are special. People aren't. And what's special about it, besides the fact that I said it's special, is that this one is dedicated to one of my subscribers. It's a friend of mine. I'd like to consider him a friend. Him and his family. The Bairds. Nathan Baird. Monica. His wife and his son Ian. Never met his daughter, but he has one. Mima. This one's for you guys. Out in West Branch, Michigan. Let's begin. Shall we? Now you guys are probably wondering, who the fuck is this Nathan Baird character? Well, let me tell you the story. How I met good old Nate. It's about 3 years ago. Yeah, maybe 2. But closer to 3. So before the whole COVID pandemic. Met him right before that shit. His company, for the sake of not having them sue me, because they probably would do some fucked up shit like that because they're fucking assholes. Pieces of shit, parasite, blood-sucking bastards. We'll call them Fastnut. You know who I'm talking about, don't you, Nate? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. You know, I was working for a solar company at the time. And Fastnut, you know, met a nice dude that worked there. Nothing against him, just the fucking pieces of shit he works for. But yeah, I was working in the warehouse, running the warehouse, and almost as a complete office, solar stuff. We were getting a lot of complaints about roof leaks. And since I was in charge of procuring materials and such, and I also looked at the plans and the diagrams and things in order to put the stuff together, I said, you know what, let me see if I can find a solution to this leaking problem, right? So, got on the computer, looked up some different products and things, and this one called Fastnut popped up. So started looking at it, looking at some of the videos that they had, some of the customer testimonials, looked at the product itself, specs, and all this other stuff, studied it, learned it, figured out whether this was going to work with what we were doing. And it looked like it would. So I made a phone call. Spoke to their rep. We'll call him Bob. I don't want to stick his name out there. He's a good guy. Like him. Don't like the company he works for. But I like him. So yeah, I'm talking to Bob on the phone. He's explaining stuff to me. And I'm like, yeah, I did a lot of research. He's like, I can tell. I don't have to tell you much. Yeah, of course not. Because before I make a phone call and have somebody trying to tell me a whole bunch of shit that I don't want to hear, I'm going to make sure I know what it is I want to ask you, so you don't try to sell me something I don't need or want. But, needless to say, the product sounded great. He was willing to actually send me a sample, which he did, in a timely fashion. Got the box. It was like Christmas. Package came to the warehouse with my name on it. From Fastnet. I was like, yes! Wow, this is gonna be some shit. Opened it up, looked at it, tried it with some of the equipment that we had to make sure that we weren't gonna have to go out and like buy a whole bunch of stuff in order to make this work with what we were already using. Come to find out that the bolts we were using and everything worked fine. Even though it did come with its own, we had plenty of them. So we would have been able to just to get the flashing and shit. Cut cost. Cut cost! Anyway, I brought this to the attention of my superiors, or I should say those who were in charge, because they were not superior to me because they were fucking idiots. I mean, remember, they're the ones that are going up on roofs in the middle of the Northeast, drilling holes and not filling them with the proper stuff, and it rains and we have 4 seasons here. It's not California, folks. We do get rain and, snow, stuff like that. Anyway, right. So they're like, oh, blah, 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 dragging their feet, yada, 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 all this nonsense, They don't want to give me a definitive answer as to whether or not I can order this product. And I wasn't about to buy it out of my pocket. So, I go combing through all these different jobs that are upcoming, looking for the smallest one possible. So I can say, hey, let's use this new stuff. I'll get us a sample pack. We'll use the new stuff, see how it holds up. And if it doesn't work, it's not going to be any worse than what we're already using. Now let me explain to you the process of the flashing, that's what it's called, that's used in solar installations, at least at the time when I was doing it, which was a couple of years ago. Flashing is like a 12-inch by 8-inch to 11 by 14-inch piece of sheet metal, right? That you have to pull the shingle up, slide under said shingle, put the shingle back down, and then punch a hole or a screw, after you've drilled it, through this, and then you put your screw in. And all this together is supposed to keep water from leaking in to the roof. Now, besides the fact that some of the people that were doing the work were just fucking idiots and weren't doing shit properly, that in itself isn't going to stop it. Number one, they weren't using the proper sealant. Number two, they weren't drilling directly into studs. And unless you're going directly into a stud with the screw, you're just going through the roof wood, which obviously, if you know anything about roofing at all, means that you're going to have a hole directly through your roof. Now, if you're going into a stud, what ends up happening is your screw is buried into the stud. So any water which may come through, which would be a very minuscule amount at best, is going to be locked into this stud. And yes, potentially over time, it could cause that stud to deteriorate. But the chances of that are much slimmer than actually having a leak in your roof. Now, this flashing solution from Fastnet had like a disc with a silicone base, and the screw went through the top of that. But when you actually screwed down the screw and you fixed the nut to the disc was concave. So what ended up happening is it collapsed downward. And when it collapsed downward, it would create a seal around where the screw goes in. So you would have the protection from the outer part, protection on the inner part around the screw itself. And then if you wanted to, you could use the sealant with this. So you'd have triple the protection. I'm like, that's fucking phenomenal. And it doesn't cost any more than what we're using now. It's no brainer. You don't have to lift up the tiles, so you're not fucking up somebody's roof. What's the big deal? But they didn't want to use it. So let's fast forward Dude that I got in contact with, he was from South Carolina. He just so happened to be on his way to Connecticut in that general area to see some solar companies to, sell his product. Well, Fastnut's product, not his product. So I was like, yo, swing by here, do a demonstration for these jackasses that I work for, and, we'll get something going. Hopefully. Maybe they'll believe it come from you. Now, of course, this dude's from South Carolina, so he's got that southern twang. You know what I'm saying? And I had to tell him. I was like, listen. Let me know when you're coming up here. Because, this is like a couple days later. They had told me they're definitely not meeting with this guy. We're not changing our fucking flashing solutions, blah, 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 blah. So get off of it. Which pissed me off. Because I did like a week's worth of research and I knew this product was going to fucking work. I had tested it. They sent me a sample. I tested it. Sprayed water and I did all types of shit. But they weren't going to hear what I had to say. So anyway, Wednesday comes. He gives me a call. Says he's going to be down in my neck of the woods. So I said, listen, you sent me a list of some of the places you're going to. I'm telling you something. Connecticut is not as friendly as you think it is. In fact, it's quite the asshole of a state. The people here are very fucking mean. And you're from the South. They're gonna treat you. They're gonna treat you funny. Yeah, I know you're a white dude, but they're gonna treat you funny. I'm telling you, I'll ride with you. I'll take the day off from work, and I'll ride out with you. Just, so I'm with you, and at least they can see that he's not just some dude coming up here from the South trying to sell some shit. He's got some Connecticut connections. We'll talk to him. So that's what I did. Took the day off of work, rode with my guy Bob, selling Fastnut. And dude liked my enthusiasm. Because I really believe, and I still do believe, in the product. But the company is a piece of shit. Fuck them. Right, Nate? Yeah, fuck them. We'll get to the whole thing. I know what you guys are all thinking. This story is not stupid or scary. It's stupid because we don't give a fuck about it. And it isn't scary at all. I'm gonna get there. Just let me set everything up first, damn it. I gotta tell you how I met Nate. That's when shit gets scary. Okay? Jeez. Oh, fucking patience. Anyway, right? So me and Bob riding around, going to different places in Connecticut, right? So, he's like, I'm good. I got this. Some twang banging. He's doing his thing. He gets out of the car, truck, goes to the first building. I sit down and let him do his thing, right? I'm like, okay, he doesn't want to believe me. He thinks kinfolk is kinfolk. Well, it's not. He'll figure it out the hard way. So he goes into the place. And this particular solar company, the guy had a dog. Small place. Not a really big, huge place. He was just an installer, not a supplier. It wasn't big like Vivint or was Sunrun and all those other big companies. He was a smaller guy, local installs and shit. So, he's going to the door. The door is locked. I guess he wasn't used to businesses having locked doors. Welcome to Connecticut. Welcome to Connecticut small business. So, he knocks on the door. Standing there, he's got his little uniform on, quick bolt. Oh, did I say quick bolt? I meant Fastnut shirt. He had his Fastnut shirt on. I don't even know who the fuck Quick Bolt is. What the fuck is a Quick Bolt? There's no such company as Quick Bolt. It's called Fastnut. So he's got his Fastnut shirt on, his Fastnut hat. It's showing there. Fastnut. He has on. That's what I said. Fastnut. So he's got the Fastnut shit on. He's doing his thing, right? Dude answers the door, looking at him. Immediately grabs his German Shepherd dog. Brings him out. Opens the door, lets the dog, a little bit off the leash. Enough to... And dude steps back. Bob's like, hey, what's going on? I'm from Fastnut, to see you do solar. We're not interested. Comes back to the truck. He's like, wow. It's like, welcome to Connecticut. try things my way. He's like, yeah. Some twang bang. Right. So we get to the next place, right? I go to the door. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? I'm with Fastnut, representative. Actually, I don't work for Fastnut. I work for a solar company. But we're looking into dealing with Fastnut. We're actually a larger solar company than you are. And we're going with this product, which is set to change the way solar is installed. Now, the only reason I'm riding around with this guy today is because I'm actually thinking of leaving my solar company for a smaller operation. Got a lot of knowledge, parts, intricate things, details, things that you need to make your business better. Are you looking for a job or looking to... I'm here to do whatever you're here to let me do. What can I do for you? Well, I'd like to hear more about that product. Well, let my guy over here, Bob, tell you a little bit more about it. Hey, Bob! And that's how the story starts with Fastnut. See, he saw how I handled the situation. He also saw that I was knowledgeable on the product. He made mention of that to his superiors when he got back. They offered me a job. But at the time, I was already employed and I liked what I did. Didn't like who I was doing it for, but I liked what I did. I'm gonna tell you, California companies are fucking douchebags. But yeah, I liked what I was doing. So they offered me the job around January-ish. Right? I was like, I don't know. I'll help you sell your product, but I already have a job. And I told him, something outlandish. I said, unless you're gonna, pay me $5,000 more than what I'm making a year where I'm at now, with benefits, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Now, like I said, I didn't say these things like I really expected to get any of them, right? Didn't expect it. Didn't expect it at all. So what ends up happening is a month goes by. He calls me up. He's like, I talked to them. They're really interested in bringing you on board. Now, I had forgot what I said to them, like what I wanted, because I wasn't serious. But they were. He's like, yeah, they're willing to give you $2,000 over what you asked. I'm like, I didn't ask for it in the first place. I don't even remember. Whatever. I'm like, okay, that sounds nice, but I'm still working and I like what I'm doing. So tell them I respectfully decline. But thank you for the offer. Once again, I'll continue to help you in this Connecticut area and do some research for you, find you some solar companies that may or may not be interested in the product that you can look so you don't drive all the way up here for nothing. But yeah, I'm good doing what I'm doing. February comes. Rumors of COVID are floating here and there. Had been since December, but now it's starting to really seem like this is a serious issue. Not for those in the United States just yet, but across the world. Me, I'm still in my little bubble of solar, and all of a sudden, find out that they're laying off me on Valentine's Day of all days. Wonderful news to bring home to the wife instead of flowers, Hey, dear, how you doing? I got laid off. But yeah, needless to say, I got laid off February 14th. Now, of course, me being the person that I am mentally, I kind of had a nervous breakdown. I'm like, oh my God, I just lost my job. I've been there and I hadn't really looked for anything else because I've been comfortable where I'm at. I got like a $2 raise not too long ago, making good money. Everything is good. Life insurance policies, health insurance, everything was good. On the outside. I mean, me personally, I wasn't all that good, but the things that I was doing were good for the family. Needless to say, I had a nervous breakdown. I left the state for like 3 days. And when I left, just so happened, Fastnut was doing a presentation in Boston for their product at a convention of some sort. So I went to Hampshire, which was just above it. I was gonna go to the convention, but I ended up not being able to get a ride. I was in New Hampshire. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, long story short, is they made me a job offer. We did a Zoom interview, and I was hired within 15 minutes of the interview, with exactly what I asked for, plus $2,000 more a year. So I was like, yeah, damn, shit's cool. They wanted me to fly out to Cali, right from New Hampshire, but I had already been gone from home for about a week. So I was like, no, I'm gonna go home, and then I'm gonna go see my family. I'll come out there. So I went home on a Saturday, and I flew out Sunday morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Went out to California for a year. Here's where the scariness begins. Land in California. San Francisco or Oakland. I'm not sure which one it was. It might have been Oakland. I get off the plane. Sun beaming down in my face. It's February. Warm compared to where we're from. It's very warm. Like, wow, I didn't need this jacket. I get on this BART is what they call it. Bay Area something transit. Regional, I'm assuming. There was this dude on the train. Sort of slinking about. Looked like half his face was rotting off. I'm like, please don't come over here near me. I don't want you to come over here near me. But he started coming over near me. I grabbed my bag, moved it to the other side. Yeah, I did that. He looked like he would steal stuff or ask for money. And I didn't want him to get too close to me. I'm not worried about this whole COVID thing. Wasn't worried about it, so I wasn't thinking I was going to get sick. Which I ended up getting sick, but that's not what the story's about. The story's about what happened before I met Nate and what happened after I met Nate. Unbeknownst to me, before I landed in California, there was some type of a chemical released in the area, the bay. This chemical affected people in a way, made them into these zombie-like creatures over time. Not immediately. That's what was happening to this guy that I saw the goddamn airplane. He was sauntering to and fro. He looked at this one lady. He walked over to her. I'm like, is he about to ask her for money or give her a kiss? He's kind of getting low there. I'm trying to think, should I warn her? Because she was, listening to music, looking at her phone. She wasn't paying attention to her surroundings. I decided I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to watch. So watch I did. He got closer to her. I'm like, I can't believe how into whatever it is she's doing, she don't realize that this dude's breathing like right on her fucking face. I mean, he looks like his breath probably smells like 100 dog buttholes. She doesn't smell that. So I just continue to watch. He bit her! Starts biting the shit out of the side of her face. She's like, oh god, ah! Throws her fucking phone up in the air and shit, and little ear pods fly out, her ears in his mouth, he's chewing on it and shit, and she's like holding the side of her face, screaming, and she's looking at me like, why? And I'm looking at her like, you should have fucking known, bitch. She's sitting right there. I'm all the way over here at the phone. Yay! You got headphones on. What the fuck am I supposed to do about that shit? So, she's like, panicking and shit. But she should. Dude looks like that, bites you, probably think you might get whatever it is he has. And she did get what he had. She starts shaking and shit. Making all types of noises. Falls on the fucking ground. Falls on people in the train car. There's like maybe 4 or 5 more. Don't see shit because they're all heads in the fucking phone. And here they are. Nobody looking up. I'm like, holy shit. I see my stop is coming up, right? bam, hop off the train. As soon as my stop, I don't hop off before my stop. I hop off when it stops. Stop, get off, boom, train moves on. Now everybody, the platform's normal, right? What's going on there? I'm thinking to myself, that was some crazy ass shit. Probably hear about it in the news later on today. But maybe not. But maybe I might hear about it later today. But I didn't when I got to where I was going. Here's the thing. I got the train. I'm supposed to not catch the BART. I'm supposed to wait for a ride somewhere. I didn't do that. So they called me an Uber. Fast enough. They did. Get to the office. There's this dude standing outside with glasses. About 6'1", 6'2", maybe, I think. Stocky dude. It's like a country boy. But he didn't sound like a country boy. He says, "Hey, you must be Reese." I said, "Yeah, who are you?" "I'm Nathan Baird. From Michigan." "Oh, really? How you doing?" "I'm Reese, obviously." No, he took us on this little tour of the building. Me and him got to chit-chatting, talking about the different backgrounds, his insurance and other things that he used to do. And I talked about the things I used to do. He talked about his family. I talked about my family. We bonded. We were family. We were both like, wow, it's a great opportunity for both of us, running our own little regional areas. Shit sounds wonderful, you know. I asked him if he had noticed anything crazy when he flew in. He had mentioned seeing some bums. I said, "Yeah, there's a lot of that here in California. I saw a whole fucking encampment of them." He's like, no. They were like zombie bums. But they weren't zombies. But they were definitely bums. They seemed zombie-like. I said, "You know what? You're probably not going to believe this, but there was like this zombie bum on the train when I came in, right? He bit this lady's face. Ear off, just chewing on it. I don't know how she didn't see it. It was like in her face for like 5 minutes before he did that shit. There's other people on the train, and she's screaming and shit, and nobody did anything or said anything. It was weird. It was kind of like, you know, being in New York City and some crazy guys like ranting and raving, and everybody's just walking past him like he doesn't exist. That's what it kind of felt like. He's like, "I've never been to New York." I said, "You're not missing anything. A lot of people loud, dirty, disgusting, polluted, and just crap. And everybody's trying to sell you something, except for what you want." So, you know, needless to say, Nate and I had quite a lot of fun for this week of drinking, and eating, drinking, eating, and drinking. They got us so goddamn drunk, it was ridiculous. I think like every day they were taking us out for like dinner and drinks. The first day we ate dinner with the owner and his wife. I had like a freaking glass of wine from like a $500 bottle of fucking wine. It was fucking ridiculous. It was fucking ridiculous. Did I say it was fucking ridiculous? Because it was fucking ridiculous. You know, me and him are sitting here like, wow, this is, you know, strange, weird, whatever, you know. But, you know, first night we're hanging out, right? We got some beers. Got myself a pack of Cools because they didn't sell Newports. They weren't supposed to be selling menthols either. While we're at the store, two of us are just talking about our families once again, our opportunities, what we both bring to the table, because both of us brought a lot of experience to the table that they didn't otherwise have. Ideas, plans, knowledge of the intricate fucking workings of this particular industry in which they wanted to break into. Either way, we're sitting here talking one night. We walked over from the hotel. Nice hotel too. They put up us in a night, separate rooms. I would have been like, there's only two of you. You guys could share a room. No, we had our own fucking rooms. Nice rooms. Big fucking plush pillows. Head fell on the pillow, instantly sleeping. Nice. Wonderful shit. Room service paid for. Everything was wonderful. That's not the point. The point is, me and him saw some of those bums again. And like I said, there's so many homeless people roaming around in California that it's hard to tell the difference between the zombie bums and the actual bums. But for some strange reason, my hair was standing on end. Nate sees the look on my face. He's like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right." You see those bums over there? It's like they're everywhere. They're like fucking corn in a cornfield. I'm like, yeah, they are like corn in a cornfield. Or pigeons under a bridge. He's like, what do you think's up? I think they might be like those zombie bums. Zombie bums? Yeah, the zombie bums. Remember I was telling you earlier, you were telling me earlier about zombie bums. I think they're zombie bums. Nate pulls out a shiny fucking nickel-plated pistol. He's like, well, if they want some problems, we'll give them some problems. I was like, oh shit, dog. I didn't know you get down like that. I might start calling you Nate Dog. He's like, ride or die, baby. I was like, oh shit, West Branch gangster. Cornfields. They don't fuck around. He's like, no, I keep it for protection. Where I'm from, we have these mutant golf balls that sometimes come flying into our property, screaming and yelling. I have to pop them before they fuck with my son Ian. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. The little guy. Who's not so little anymore, I heard. But we're not here. We're there. Back then. Right? So, Nate starts walking over towards the damn zombie bums. He asks if they have a problem. One of them turns around and half his jaw's hanging off. Nate looks back at me, raises his gun and pops a couple of shots into the air to see if, they're just drug addicts with fucking problems or, zombie bums. And they were. Some drug addicts with problems because they ran off real quick. I was like, what the fuck was wrong with that guy's jaw? Like, meth's a motherfucker. I'm like, I guess so. Shit. So we walk back to the hotel and drinking red apple or candy apple fucking schnapps and drinking apple ales and beers and shit till like 2 in the morning. Having a good old time, right? They told us we had to be up by 7 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, we'll be up. No problem. Go to sleep, right? Wake up the next day. 6 o'clock in the morning. It's all quiet outside. There's no noise. Don't hear any people walking around the hotel, right? Phone rings. Bling, bling. Oh! Hello? It's Nate. What's up, Nate? How you doing? Really? Why? Nah, you're joking, right? That's some fucked up shit. Nah, I haven't even watched the news this morning. Yeah, I'll turn it on. Thanks. Calls me and tells me that there's been like some kind of fucking attack downtown San Francisco. Bunch of zombie bums attacked a group of people leaving a baseball game, biting and mauling hundreds. That after the initial melee, many of these people went to different hospitals. Some just went home. But then there were incidents of more zombie bum-like attacks all across the city, and that it was spreading. That had been found that it wasn't just isolated incident, that some type of chemical, unknown origin, been released in the Bay Area. It's affecting people mentally, making them do this crazy shit. Travel into and out of San Francisco had been stopped. No planes. I was like, well, we're not supposed to be leaving for a week, so things will clear up. Nate's like, come on, man. You've watched movies before. This is just the beginning. Things are going to get a lot worse before they get any better. I hushed him up. It's like, sure, we'll be fine. It's not a movie. This is real life. Nothing like that happens in real life, Nate! Come on! Right? Like, what would you know? You're from West Branch. The fuck happens in West Branch? You'd be amazed at what happens in West Branch, he told me. And I said, well, I'm not too amazed. I've never even heard of West Branch before. You've probably heard of where I'm from, but I've never heard of where you're from. But that's okay, who cares? Let's go, get ready, I'll meet you downstairs. We'll have some coffee and talk about this craziness. So, we both meet up in the lobby. Like I said, it was like nobody around. A few cars and shit driving by, but there's just like nobody outside or anything. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it's, super early and people around here, for whatever strange reason, don't get up that early and shit. Looking at the news, they're talking about the COVID. Certain cases have been found in the U.S., potential shutdown, blah, 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 blah. Like, whatever, COVID shit's fake, I don't care. Fucking zombies is more important. Zombies attacking people, bums, eating things. Let's find out more about that. Our ride comes, picks us up. We're traveling around, doing what we do, which is onboarding and training. They have us pretend to sell them stuff. They have us learn this, that, yada, 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 yada. Me and Nate are both looking at them like they're fucking idiots. Like, you hired us because we're the best at what we do. So teach us what it is you want us to do for you instead of trying to teach us how to do what we already know how to do. That's what we're thinking in our heads. And let's get to the drinking and eating and shit, folks. Enough of this boring shit. Drinking and eating. Eating and drinking. And then go back home and drink some more. Anyway, a week of this went on. We flew out. He flew back to West Branch. I flew back to Connecticut. It was there I learned that little Ian had this YouTube channel. It was interesting, little YouTube channel. Kid's funny as fuck. And smart. Funny. And smart. His dad called me up. I said, hey, how's everything going over there in the East? I said, everything is pretty cool. Nothing going on. He said, seen any of those zombie bums? No, not really. We have lots of crackheads, dope fiends, and bums here, so it's hard to differentiate between the two. They usually roam in packs anyway. You see like a pack of crackheads coming down the street, chasing the drug dealer, asking for shorts. You alright, Reese? No, I haven't been feeling too good since I came back. But I'm about to head out on the road, hit up Mass and New Hampshire and Maine. I've got some prospects out that way. I'm going to check them out. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go head up and hit some stuff too. So me and Nate don't talk to each other for like maybe a couple of days. We both get back from our prospective travels. Have a Zoom meeting. Everything sounds good. COVID hits. There's talk of shutdown. By March, I think 14th or March 7th. Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts all closed down. The stay-at-home order was in effect, which meant I couldn't do my job. Same thing happened in Michigan. Nate couldn't do his job. So, this company, Fastnut, went through the process of getting this loans or grants to keep their employees on because they were granted the status of essential business. Now, once again, Nate and I are talking on the phone about what's going on and shit. And he tells me straight up, he's like, yo, dude, we're about to get fired. I was like, Nate, they got the money. They're an essential business. We're not going to get fired. He's like, trust me. I'm just thinking, what does this middle of West Branch, Michigan dude know about fucking all this corporate life shit? They're not going to fire us. Look who turned out to be the country bumpkin jackass. Me. Because we had another Zoom meeting that same day. And in that Zoom meeting, we got fired. He was right. I damn near lost my mind. Actually, I did lose it. Not because of the job. Just no job meant sitting in the house all day. No income except for the unemployment that they graciously allowed us to have the extra $500 with. Didn't get the stimulus, so I wasn't one of those crowd of people who became like, $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 richer overnight, and then spent it all on fucking fireworks and stupid shit. Didn't have anything to show for it like weeks later. No, I didn't do that. I bought a equipment things for the oncoming zombie horde. Because what Nate told me after he told us that we were going to get fired was that the zombies were spreading. Now, once again, I'm questioning his reasons. I'm questioning. What reasons do you feel that they're spreading? He said, just like COVID spreads, how do you know that chemical didn't hit the air? He said, I've seen. I said, you've seen what? I've seen zombie bums. Where? In West Branch. But there are no bums in West Branch. Exactly. You telling me that this shit's about to go fucking national? It's about to go global, Monica. He'll understand what Monica means. You guys might not, but he will. So if you're watching this, Nate, I hope you understand. I haven't talked to you in a while, but these are my thoughts. You're a good dude. You have a nice family. The things that we had to do in order to protect our families, I hope the world will forgive us for them. What is it we did, you say? Well, we started slaughtering bums. Any bum. We couldn't be sure. We couldn't be sure. Some of them would just walk up to you and ask for change, and you didn't know if they were going to ask you for change and then bite your fucking head off. That's how they got close to you. You know what I'm saying? They'd have like a little cup in their hand or some shit, looking all sad. And as soon as they get within reach of you, they lash out and grab you. Start chewing on you and shit. I seen it happen to a whole bunch of people, right? So bums were just, I'm sorry, bums. Not that I have anything against bums, because I don't. I was a bum for a little while. But zombie bums I have a thing against, you know what I'm saying? Me and Nate slaughtered hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of bums. Not all of them were, zombies. And we're sorry. But you guys were a population that was going to end up getting turned into zombie bums. So we kind of had no choice. We didn't do this lightly. Trust me, I wasn't shooting and chopping up bums willy-nilly and enjoying it a lot. Just a little bit. And it wasn't because they were bums. I want you guys to understand that. I wasn't enjoying the killing because they were bums. It was because it was killing stuff. Killing things can be fun sometimes if you're fucking crazy. Me and Nate found that this was something that we would probably never forget in life. And after bums were slaughtered and pandemic ebbed, and the zombie plague went on its way, two of us stopped talking for a while. Couldn't face each other after knowing the things that we had done. Slaughtering bums weighed heavy on our hearts. Looked at our children and were thankful that they weren't bums, because we would have had to kill them. And during this whole pandemic, another life was brought into the Baird family. Don't know what her name is. Forget. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. Then I moved from Connecticut to New Hampshire for a while. What I had done had weighed so heavy on me, I couldn't face my family. Lost touch with reality and ran off in search of more bums. Found a whole cemetery full of them in Manchester. I said, there might be a pocket of bums that I did not clean out. And I said, this is fucking perfect. They're already in a cemetery, so, if people see me in the cemetery digging a hole, I can just tell them I'm a caretaker and I'm, tending to the grounds. Mind your fucking business. Don't worry about what's in the bag over here. It's not your business. And that's what happened for a little while. Killing more bums. Just sort of like that dude in Walking Dead, the black guy, after his wife and son are dead, and he's by himself, and he just goes around like killing everything around him to make sure he's safe. That's how I felt. Everywhere I was, I had to destroy bums. I know what you're thinking. you're a fucking elitist piece of shit. What gives you the right to kill bums? Well, if you had watched a zombie bum do the things that I saw zombie bums do, you'd kill bums too. Don't get mad at me. I did what I thought I had to do to survive. And I enjoy doing it while I was doing it. Like, I don't sit here and think about killing bums now. Mostly because there are no bums where I live. So, you know, it's hard to want to kill something you don't see readily available. So, like, you go to a store and they don't have any steaks. So you're not going to be able to eat steak. You can't make steaks out of material that's not for making steaks, right? No, of course not. You can't do that. So, yeah, you know, like I said, me and Nate stopped talking for a little while. Finally, I got back to Connecticut, staying there for about a year. I was tiring of this. You can't kill bums in Connecticut as easily as you can kill bums other places. You know, too many people would notice them not being there. I went out one night, wandering, like a bum, trying to attract more bums. You know, dressed dirty, holy clothes, stunk badly. You know, I didn't wash my ass for like a week, so I could smell like a bum. No deodorant, didn't do my hair. Looked kind of like this face-wise, no shaving, except it was more scraggly and scruffy. You know that. And walked out there and poured alcohol on myself to smell like a wino, and drank a lot of it. Only poured a little bit, like maybe a capful. Mostly drink it. I'll breathe all heavy on people. Hey, you know, come and just try to find the thing. Oh, and I can't move how to walk over there. You know where I'm going? Because I don't know where I'm going anymore. I came from that way. And I'm trying to go this way. And I don't know if I'm going to make it in time to catch the bus and get to downtown. And the person was just looking at me like I was fucking stupid and crazy. And I was just drunk, pretending to be drunk. You know, so guys, like, excuse me, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. You're drunk, you smell like a fucking wino that hasn't washed his ass in a week. Could you please get out of my face, sir? I need to give me a ride to downtown, the bus stop, gone. I don't see it no more. You give me a ride, then maybe I'll give you $5. You know, you got $5? As soon as he was about to say, I don't have no money for you, I stabbed him in the throat, real quick, like a little, put one hand up like this, like I was gonna punch him. He's like, huh? Stabbed him right in the throat. Couldn't scream. He couldn't scream, right? Now you're probably thinking to myself, well, he's not a bum. Why would you kill a regular person? You're supposed to be hunting bums. I don't know why I killed him. I don't know why. I found out later why I killed him. You know, went on this rampage for like 3 hours, just killing random people. I would act drunk or high or just crazy or just like a regular bum. Just like, hey, you have any change? And, you know, as soon as they would be ready to say something to me, except for those that just walked away, I just like stab them right in the throat. I was just throat stabbing a lot of people right there. Cut the windpipe real quick, fucking hit the vocal cords so they couldn't scream. You know, I don't need no screaming. They'd be choking on their own blood real quick. You see little bubbles popping out the little hole in their throat and the air whistling. I pushed them into whatever car they were in front of, as long as it was their car, and we drive off. I torture them for a few hours. Cut pieces of meat off their body. Jerky it. Special seasonings. Now I know what you guys are thinking. What the fuck does this story have to do with anything? It doesn't have anything to do with anything. It never does. It's just wherever the fuck my mind goes, and just what happened to go to me killing and eating people. Do I kill and eat people? No, I don't kill and eat people. If I did, I'd be in jail or a psychiatric institute. Dumbasses. Do I think about killing and eating people? No, I don't. Don't want you guys getting the wrong idea. Thinking this guy we're watching is a psychopath. He's a fucking crazy murderer. I'm not that. I like to grow peppers and make hot sauce. Every now and then I'll grow some peppers and they'll start talking to me about the different things that are in the soil and shit. And I'll be looking at them like, why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me, Pepper? I'm just going to end up chopping you up into little pieces and making you into a delicious hot sauce. And they're like, that's exactly what we want. Really? Yes. I was like, that's awesome. So grow. Like, more of you grow. Yeah, but your soil is missing this, need that, this, that, and the other. So Nate called me one day, right? Mind you, this is like maybe a couple of months ago. Asked me how I'm doing. Tell him, living in a house now, chilling. Family's back together again, everything is good. I think he said he had another child. So I think he has 3 children now. I still got you beat, Nate. I got 4. So, and a granddaughter. Ha ha! Ha! Yeah. Talked for a little bit. Shit. I miss my boy. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much... I didn't want to tell a whole story about me, missing my dude. But I do miss my dude. He's a cool-ass dude. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out there listening, Nate, give me a call. You got my number. And if you don't, well, I'm not going to give it to you over this fucking video. Because then maybe people who don't like me or like the video will be calling my phone and be like, hey, fuck you! And then hang up on my face. I don't have time for that all day. And I know what you're probably saying. Why would you answer the fucking phone if you don't recognize the number? I'm like, old school, before caller ID and shit, where you didn't have a choice but to answer the phone. It rang, you answered it. Unless somebody told you not to answer it. And rarely did anyone ever tell me not to answer the phone. I would always answer the phone. Be people that I don't know, obviously, calling the house. You used to get a lot of telemarketing calls and sales calls and shit back in the day. And bill collectors. That was pretty much every now and then friends, would call and stuff. Old phone. Kind of, you had to turn the dials. I remember we had those for a long time. And, this story has nothing to do with anything anymore. So don't get upset. I might say something funny in a few minutes. Like, I don't know, abracadabra. It's not funny, but maybe it is. Like, you could be triggered by the word abracadabra. Some people are. I know what people are saying. I know what you're saying. What's wrong with him? Has he been smoking something? No, I'm drug free. I don't do drugs. No marijuana. No hard drugs. No drinking. This is me naturally. I'm usually just a bug out. I've always been that way. Was dropped on the head several times. I think my father was trying to get rid of me. He knew potential danger that the whole family was in. He allowed me to make it to adulthood. He tried his best, but it didn't work. He had no choice to deal with me on the level which he deals with me now. What is he fucking talking about? That's what everybody's saying right now. I know. Don't be upset. See, the wonderful thing about story number 89 is there's 2 parts to it. This is part 1. Me saying my thanks and reaching out to a friend of mine, Nate Baird, and his family. I hope you guys are well. Now, part 2 of tonight's story, because there is a part 2. 89, part 1 and 2. That's what makes this one special. Ha, there's the specialness. It's a 2-part, 1 episode story. Now, you're probably thinking, what's the second part of this weird-ass story gonna be? Don't fucking worry about it. If you want to fucking know, you're gonna fucking have to fucking tune the fucking later on the fucking night. And find out what the fuck it is that I'm fucking doing, you fucks. Haha! How many times did I say fuck that time? I'm gonna go for an all-time record of fucks. And see how many fucks I can give in a day. Usually it's 0. Ah! I'm sorry, people. I'm in a very giddy mood. I woke up happy as fuck. The sun was dancing on my face, literally, when I woke up this morning. It's like right on my cheek, doing a 2-step and shit. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be like up there illuminating the whole world? And how did you get so small? He didn't answer my question. He just like did some spin move, moonwalk down my chin, and disappeared. I was like, that's cool. The sun came to visit me. I'm special. Jumped up out of bed and it's like, hung out with my kids. And I made some roasted paradise, the new hot sauce from Now's brand. I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is he talking about? This story has nothing to do with anything. God damn it, this is the worst story ever. Oh well. Oh well. It's the worst story ever, too bad. It's part one of the worst story ever. There's going to be a part two to it. No, but I promise, part two will be much better. I just had some, you know how you get like air in an airline, or that's supposed to be water, and you have a little air. Just think of that as the air bubbles being spit out. And in part two, the story's going to be smoother and just nice flow. Nice flow, I promise. What am I going to talk about, you say? I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. I don't usually think about what I'm going to talk about before I start talking about it. And when I start talking about it, that's when I know what I'm talking about. But I don't really know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. I just talk about what I want to talk about when I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves this Saturday. I'm gonna hop off of here and go make shrimp quesadillas, because shrimp quesadillas are fucking delicious, and you should all have them in your life. You should have them in your life. If you don't have them in your life, we'll go find some place that you can have them in your life, and have them in your life. Until later on today, folks, have a wonderful fucking day. Don't be terrified of things that go bump in the night. It's usually somebody sneaking around your house. They may or may not have ill intentions.